Hello, everybody. I hope that you kind of understood or grokked the Bloom's taxonomy lesson, because today we're going to extend a little bit further onto that. Believe it or not, today's is actually more down to earth. Yesterday's lesson about Bloom's taxonomy was more theoretical, conceptual. Today's is more like in the boots on the ground, actually using these skills that we were talking about. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to practice critical thinking. We're going to practice reading in a critical way. And we're going to do that by using advertising. But before we do that, I need to share with you my desktop so you can see what I'm seeing. And basically, yesterday we talked about the six levels of thinking, six thinking skills of understanding, or knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. And I even, in that PowerPoint, if you watched the video yesterday, I chunked those into three sections of low-level thinking, middle-level thinking, and high-level thinking. And these skills are not necessarily independent of one another. Believe it or not, you do all these things all at the same time. When you read, you use all three of these thinking skills, and when you write, you use all three of these thinking skills. In fact, if you've been in me and Mr. Norman's class, you'll see that we have this multi-directional thinking poster, which I would love to show you, but it would mess up my recording equipment. But essentially, whenever you read, you start off and you just make observations about what you're interacting with, what you're reading. That is the low-level thinking. After you had enough observations, you might pick up on a pattern that's starting to emerge within those observations. That would be middle-level thinking. And then once you have those patterns come together, you can start drawing some conclusions, some higher-level thoughts, and come to a conclusion of what the thing that you're reading is trying to get across to you. Now, if you were to do this via writing, you flip it upside down. Of course, you have an idea that you want to write about. That would be the conclusion that you drew via the reading. You have reasons that you have this idea. Those would be the patterns. And then you have evidence that would support your idea or your reasons. And those would be your observations. Now, so we're going to practice this. All right. And the first thing you do, like I said, you just make observations. So I'm going to pull up an ad. And if we were in class, I'd just straight up tell you, write down what you see. In fact, right now, pause me and write down kind of what are the things you observe about this advertisement. Now, sometimes you might say, well, you notice, of course, this is a guy playing basketball. So a basketball player, it is either in the morning or the evening. Let's look at the setting around it. That is obviously probably a city because it has some mass transit information right there. And of course, those are wider sidewalks. And this looks like a very tallish building right there. In fact, all those things could apply to the city: the tall building, the mass transit sign, and then the traffic. Now let's look at the words. Nothing short of a relentless commitment to freedom of expression and a never-ending quest for greatness above all else. A never-ending quest for greatness above all else. For greatness, a relentless commitment. All right, so these are just the observations that I've had. The next thing I'm going to do is try to find some patterns within those observations. And I've already kind of started doing that. Relentless, never-ending, above all else, those are very extreme words that they kind of go with. You have the iconography of course, the evening or the early morning. So he's been doing this for a long time. He kind of has his head down. He could be dejected. He could be kind of sad. The basketball assumes that he's a basketball player and he's been practicing basketball. So those are all these patterns that we're starting to pick up on. Now I can kind of draw a conclusion. And this is where the lesson at hand, the assignment that I'm going to ask you to do here in a second, comes into play. So what I want you to do is you're going to create kind of a thesis statement for these advertisements. And a thesis statement needs a thesis statement in this sense. Technically, the thesis statement really just needs to be the concept, but since at this level of analysis that you're doing, you kind of need a more tighter focus. And so this helps apply to that tighter focus. So what you need is a topic, the what, a topic, an analysis verb, which makes you think, that shows that you are thinking, and then you need an idea or a concept. So the big idea, the thing that you're trying to prove. Now for this, it would be the advertisement. So our topic is the advertisement, and this is an and one ad. So the and one ad. And then we have to come up with an analysis verb. Represents, I like represents here, but there's a variety that you could go with. You have conveys, portrays, creates, represents, results in, indicates, demonstrates, means, suggests, suppose, analyzes, insinuates, proves, scrutinizes, inspects, evaluates, and examines. So we pick one of those words. We have our topic, the and one ad, represents, and then we're going to look at our idea. This is the thing that we are drawing a conclusion to. Often in advertising, yeah, they're trying to sell you a product. Yes, they're technically trying to sell you basketball shoes or apparel or whatnot. But on top of that, subliminally, deeper, where you kind of have to read between the lines, they're trying to sell you an idea. They're trying to sell you an idea. So what are they trying to sell you here? So nothing short of relentless commitment to freedom of expression and never-ending quest above all for greatness above all else. So he's going to do whatever he can do to be great. He's practicing either late in the evening or early in the morning to try to get there. So the and one ad is representing hard work. That's kind of what this is representing, is representing putting in the practice, working hard. So the and one represents that. Or let's go with portrays. I think portrays would work better because you can also revise this to make it fit your sentence that you're trying to write. The and one ad portrays that hard work and practice are the keys to success. Because that's what it's trying to sell you. It's trying to sell you success through the ways of hard work. All right. Now, the assignment that I'm going to have you all do, I'm going to post this advertisement right here on Classroom. It's for a Palm ad. Yes, I know it's an old ratchet phone. It's an old and busted phone, but this advertisement is really good for what we're looking for. Don't worry if you can't see it that well at the moment. I'll post the advertisement on Google Classroom for you to do. And basically, I just want you to make observations, find patterns within these observations, and draw a conclusion. And I want you to write a thesis statement. So I want you to write a thesis statement for the Palm ad. So your topic would be Palm ad. You pick one of these analysis verbs, and then you tell me what is the idea that advertisement is trying to sell us. All right. Tomorrow we'll be doing this same thing, but we'll actually be doing it with a piece of microfiction. Until then, have a good day.